3, 2, 1.
Good evening, Rams. You're watching Ramlife Entertainment. We're enriching the Fort Collins and Ram experience one show at a time. I'm your host, Gabe Pocrass. We have post-Grammy coverage and Oscar predictions, but first, let's get to the latest entertainment news. Julianne Moore is in the talks to play the villain in The Kingsman 2. The deal with Moore has not been finalized, but the film would definitely benefit by having her on the team. She won an Oscar last year for her role in Still Alice and can be seen in last year's The Hunger Games: Mockingjay Part 2. Kingsman: The Secret Service was a surprise hit for Fox. The film had a budget of $81 million and grossed $414 million worldwide. That is ridiculous. No wonder Fox is making a sequel. Milk it, Fox. You milk that cow. That's what I would do. Fans have created a change.org petition to get Deadpool as the host of Saturday Night Live. That would be really fun. The online petition has reached its goal of 35,000 signatures, and I bet they could get more. No comment yet from SNL producer Lorne Michaels. Deadpool on SNL? That would be amazing. Ryan Reynolds would be in costume, and he would be in every sketch. Also, he should just be the musical guest. You know what? How about we just have an episode with Deadpool doing a one-man show? If that doesn't happen, we at least have the Deadpool movie, though. It made box office history, bringing in $135 million over its opening week, the highest opening for an R-rated movie. All right, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis have released the track list for their upcoming album, This Unruly Mess I've Made. The album is being released on Friday, February 26th, and will feature appearances by Chance the Rapper and Chris One. A surprising addition to the list includes the actor Idris Elba, according to the track list. He will be featured on the song Dance Off. 4 songs from the album have already been released, including Downtown and the Conversation Starter, White Privilege 2. If you don't know, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis actually came to CSU back in August of 2013, and they loved it. You should Google it, you'll see. We have proof CTV was at the concert.
The craziest concert out of every single one that we played this fall was for the people at CSU.
Macklemore, if you're watching this, come to CSU and perform again. CSU is building a new football stadium. Maybe you could sing at the grand opening. Just an idea. All right, it's time for this week's Strange News.
Strange news, strange news.
All right, Airbnb in New York is renting out an apartment for $400 a month. This apartment is one of a kind, with the theme of Netflix and chill. The room is exclusively for 2 people at a time. The bed and pillows have Netflix logos on them, and of course, the room comes with Hulu. I'm just kidding, Netflix. All right, other amenities include a stocked mini fridge and surround sound speakers around the bed, just to get the full viewing experience. If you have that kind of money to blow, go for it. Me personally, I'm gonna stick with watching Netflix at home, spending hours and hours trying to decide what to watch. All right, Beer Me is back this week, and I got to taste a coffee stout from the local Horse and Dragon Brewing Company. And I chatted with a sales representative who explained the brewing process behind the beer. Hey guys, and welcome to the 3rd episode of Beer Me at the Mayor, the place with 100 beers on tap and the perfect place to do some beer reviews. So let's get started. The beer we are covering today is from Horse and Dragon Brewery, which is a Fort Collins brewery, so it gets some cookie points from me right there. The beer is Sad Panda. It is a coffee stout, and it is 7.5% ABV. When I first drank it, I got the coffee taste. As I kept drinking it, I started to detect a more vanilla taste or a creamer taste. And then as I kept drinking it, I started to get more of like an almond or some type of nut taste. Then, as I kept drinking the beer, I don't know if they have any of these, but these are what I'm detecting. I started to get a little bit of a chocolate taste. So it is possible that they kind of mixed those ingredients, and then as the beer warms up, I started to detect those flavors. And that's pretty cool.
The coffee is actually brought upon by using a process called a cold toddy, or a cold brewing process. We take all the coffee that we have, we do a sanitary cold brew essentially, where it sits overnight in refrigeration for about 16 hours, extracting all that full flavor without all the bitterness and astringency that can come from a brewed coffee. And that is then added to our bright tanks, actually post-boil, post-fermentation, as to provide that full wallop of the coffee flavor without it being fermented out. Any type of sugar that can be added to a beer during the brewing process will actually be fermented out in most cases. Honeys and sugars of any level will actually be fermented out and they'll change the flavor of the actual beer. So in order to get that full flavor of what we want out of the coffee, you add it just right before you keg it.
For this beer, I'm gonna narrow it down to one thing, and I'm gonna say the drinking complexity as I kept drinking it. As the beer warmed up, I started to detect a lot more of the flavors and complexities from it. I started to get used to the coffee flavor, and then I started to pick out what was going on inside of them. And I really enjoyed that. It was a really fun beer to drink because of that. So for this beer, it started as like a 7.8 or 7.9 at the beginning. Midway went to about an 8.2, and at the end, it's going to an 8.5. So I'm giving this beer an 8.5 out of 10. If you're a fan of our Beer Me segments, you can view more online on the CTV YouTube page.